He has asked me to be his...
Good God, he's what?
his mistress.
And he's gonna think that's great. And she's like, no.
We cannot be together, Alfie. It is a terrible thing to have been asked.
I ran out.
You welcome us, won't you?
Hey. Oh, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown. I am back with another episode of Bridgerton. This is season 4. They've dropped the second half of the season, so we are starting on episode 5, called Yes or No. Now, we saw at the very end of the last episode that Sophie's stepmom and sisters are moving what appears to be next door to the Bridgertons, which is going to cause some issues, which it also says in the description. A new neighbor shakes up Bridgerton house. Hyacinth and Gregory take their first steps into society, and Penelope struggles with the loss of anonymity, which it looks like she was already struggling with that loss. Maybe it's going to be worse or more so. She was already having problems with the Queen wanting to be too involved with her writings, making her feel pressured to write about certain things and not write about other things, and make her feel pressured as to how she writes. I think we also know that there are going to be some issues with this relationship between Sophie and Benedict that is newly forming. They are trying to figure things out, and things are not necessarily working as they hoped. And especially when Benedict asked Sophie to be his mistress, that did not go over well at all, and I do not blame her one tiny bit. But I think from the previews that we've seen that he is going to talk about this a little bit with some of his friends, and they are going to give him a little bit of information to help him out in how to maneuver this situation. Let him know that no girl wants to be hidden, and being a mistress in the situation she's in, that's exactly what's going to have to happen. How do you have a relationship with this girl without having her be a mistress and without having to hide her? Are we going to figure that out? I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to figure it out before the end of the season, but maybe not the end of the episode. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Dearest gentle reader,
Very dark.
most common words in Mayfair: be my mistress. His wife is not the only woman in his life. Should perhaps learn to be more discreet. Though a moth may love a flame,
You got mixed in with the family's mail this morning.
Now that doesn't sound good either. If her letters get mixed in with the family mail and somebody accidentally sees them.
it will burn should they meet.
My husband just peeked in. Well, they're looking more comfortable with each other.
Mrs. Wilson never oversleeps.
Yes, but...
And it is very unlikely she would fail to wake you in time. I think Mrs. Wilson would sooner walk naked through Mayfair.
I think Mrs. Wilson may be allowing you to sleep.
A rehearsal for her and her peers. She seems to think it is all.
I enjoy seeing how much you enjoy your children's happiness. They would so much enjoy seeing your happiness.
Is she ready for something like that? Does not appear that way. I think they'd be okay with it, but...
I decided to write about it, if only to warn Mr. Hiscox to be more cautious.
So it is Mr. Hiscox.
Oh.
To know that Araminta could be living anywhere now.
Right next door.
The new Lady Penwood only left to take the new housekeeper with her, praise be.
Let us hope for your sake she's less...
Less of a she-devil. Oh, that felt good to say. We shall have to see about the new Lady Penwood next week. And your new employers, you have not said who they are.
A very pleasant family.
Whose name is...
The Bridgers.
She didn't say the whole thing.
Who?
The Bridgertons.
I knew I recognised those colours.
I found employment. Cameron turned out to be a knave. I threw a glass of water in his face, and then Benedict Bridgerton appeared and threw his fist at Cameron's face. He well-nigh kidnapped me and brought me to London, forced me into a job at his mother's house. Avoided each other until it all became too much to bear, and now he has asked me to be his...
Good God, he's what?
his mistress.
And he's gonna think that's great. And she's like, no.
We cannot be together, Alfie. It is a terrible thing to have been asked.
I ran out.
Is it? What is so terrible about it? A society gentleman has a mistress, Sophie.
I know that. Better than anyone, surely.
Yeah, use your brain, Alfie. Come on, you can do it.
What do you mean to do?
If you know of a position elsewhere.
There is an opening under the new Lady Penwood. It would be excellent to have you home. I thought the old Lady Penwood spread the word that you were not to be hired.
Violet Bridgerton means far more in this town than gossip from Aramin to Gun. She will. I am certain she will. Hopefully before I have to see Mr. Bridgerton again.
So she still doesn't know that her stepmother is so fucking close.
Mrs. Modridge? She is at the palace, being fitted for her lady-in-waiting position.
Palace at the palace.
Why are you so fidgety, Benedict?
She is not a person of any rank, and I asked her to be with me.
No woman, no man, no person truly desires to be hidden. Did you at least make it clear that you wish in some fantastical world that you could be together?
We are not in a fantastical world.
It is about gesture.
Right. But she did already get after him for filling her head with fantasies and stuff, with ideas that just can't be. And that's what that would be. I mean, sure, he can still do it. You know, she'll just do the same thing as she did before. And be upset that he filled her head with fantastical ideas that she can't do anything with.
It's quite tight.
Magnificent. Stand taller.
Stand taller. Oh, yeah.
You may take your place. Was her suggestion well-founded?
Turned out to be wrong. That doesn't mean it wasn't well-founded.
I have not heard.
So look at her wig.
Mrs. Rich
So
will deal
what I
with
was
it.
talking about before that video, it was talking about how like the structure of the wig itself is actually created from hair. Like the hairs itself are formed to form the structure. It's so weird, but kind of cool.
I have never seen his face like
Good evening. Or should I say, good morning?
My deepest apologies.
I have not wanted to break up the festivities, but it is 4 a.m.
We used to plunder the kitchen all the time when we were children.
Yes, it was great fun.
I do not wish to do that.
Sometimes you have to put your foot down.
We will come to bed now.
Especially when you have somebody who likes to be very regimented and have everything a certain way and be most proper. And, yeah, I think the feelings between these two does not feel proper to her.
She's not in the least interested in my future.
That is not exactly true. Then you must return to the marriage mode. That was our arrangement.
No, you cannot do that.
Well, I believe I just did.
Hyacinth, let us convene. Hyacinth.
I will be there shortly. Lady Bridgerton, may I steal a moment of your time?
Of course.
I do not want you to leave.
I have been made aware of a suitable position elsewhere, and I wondered if you might be so kind as to write me a letter of introduction.
Has something occurred to make you wish to leave?
It has nothing to do with anyone in this house.
Just somebody outside of this house.
I simply have an opportunity to work again in the house I grew up in.
What house is that again? Do you grow up in Aylesbury? Yes?
She's not gonna say.
It's famous for its owls, no?
Yes, though I do not much like owls. They are quite frightening.
They're quite frightening.
I would be happy to write you a letter if that is what you wish. Wait until after Hyacinth's recital.
Of course, Mom.
So if somebody's moving into this new house, their name changes to Penwood? Like, that's what it sounds like. The new Lady Penwood. So whoever's the lady of the house is the Lady Penwood, even though it's a house and not a bloodline and not a family. Weird. Yeah, I thought at the point that she talked to Mrs. Bridgerton that she would have already known about
Mrs. Wilson, do you ever get the sense that Sophie is hiding something?
Araminta.
Wonder if her history is less lowly than she admits, with her education, her manner of speaking.
Call from ST Lucy FL.
Turn out to be the runaway daughters of nobility, do they not?
Governesses, yes, but I've never met a maid of noble origins. Shall I make inquiries?
Oh, please. Would you mind extending an invitation to Lord Anderson for the recital? I think it is time he come around.
Of course, Mom.
She's smiling.
Nearly 4 decades as butler. Not once has the family moved in before the decoration was complete.
Most unusual.
They're in a rush.
His cousin inherited the title. He let our ladyship stay at Penwood House until the new Lord Penwood took a wife. Vacate to a rented house immediately.
So this is a relative.
At least we're next door to the Bridgertons.
Not her, but the people moving into the other house.
Gregory, I believe.
Who perhaps will be eligible by the time you are ready to marry.
Has there been any progress?
Mrs. Varley?
I love her pink dress. Like, most light pinks I don't care for, but the way that's done is nice.
I had 37 pairs of shoe clips before the move. I now only have 36.
So much of a shame.
Perhaps you double counted a pair then. Shoe clips do all look so alike.
These were diamond French clips. I do not have another pair like them.
Yeah, fake ones.
I believe they were stolen by one of the household servants.
Poor baby.
Sophie Beck.
And now the name is out, at least to her, and she knows the Bridgerton household.
I've been thinking how we might get you back into Hyacinth's good graces. I believe the answer is a feather.
A feather?
You know she was always trying to steal both of your presentation feathers? I thought we could send you into the shop to purchase her one to wear for her recital.
Was that truly your idea?
No. I had Hatch ask Mrs. Wilson. It is a good one, is it not? I will keep Sophie company.
Mm-hmm.
I was so taken by the moment.
Yes, I understand. We were both carried away.
Is that all it was to you?
Benedict, she cannot openly admit to how she feels without a lot of fucking gossip likely coming out about it.
Being your mistress is the last thing I would ever want.
I simply picked the first one I saw.
Just to make sure no one saw.
You are Lady Whistledown.
Oh, the mistress.
I did not name names.
It does not matter.
They know.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows I'm the mistress. Everyone may have been speculating, but Whistledown made it real. Now my plan to save small sums so that I could be independent, it is all gone. Say it is untrue. Say that Ton has confused me for someone else.
Well, she's not going to be willing to lie, but she might be able to come up with something.
My readers would not believe me.
To soften things?
You are seen together far too much.
But it is because we love one another. Loved. But it is your quill that has ruined me.
Miss Sterling has kept you up nearly every night.
It is not the lack of sleep. It is Parliament.
Which is supposed to be the real reason that they are doing these seasons. The men are supposed to work in Parliament while the women of the Ton do their society thing. Because they are not allowed in Parliament. They do not work in Parliament.
The Seditious Meetings Act, the Clergy Residence Act, and on.
Not because you are disappointed that we remain childless.
I assure you, it is Parliament.
We know that you are disappointed.
It seems we hardly have any time together.
Yep.
I also hate to leave Michaela unattended.
Michaela will be well.
Michaela is quite capable of tending to herself, I think.
We could introduce her to some gentlemen.
I believe she's quite insistent on marching into Spinsterhood.
So she doesn't want to be connected to anybody or attached right now. But there are clearly feelings between them, even if they don't want to acknowledge it.
Could you not talk to Lady Bridgerton for me?
The point is for me to step back.
Yep, now you can go talk to your fellow friend who had a mistress. Had. Might still, but might not anymore. It was not looking promising.
You do not look well. Not a reading man. I was forced to end things. I have two options. Giving up, and there is giving in. To a midday drunk. Chasing sorrows in the bottom of the bottle.
There is divorce if you can come up with grounds for it. Won't necessarily help with your mistress situation, but it will help with being forced to live married to somebody that makes you that freaking depressed. Is she gonna find his drawings? I've just been waiting for her to find those drawings of her. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
What are you doing in here?
I was cleaning.
Yeah, you could just say I was tending to your room or something.
I could not stand the thought of passing by without seeing you.
Who is this woman to you?
Someone I met one night at a ball.
Do you have feelings for her?
No, I did. Until I met you. It is you that I want now, Sophie.
Why do you find it suitable to kiss me?
Because you are irresistible.
But why is it suitable? Would you have found it suitable to kiss the lady that you met at that ball? Or would you have been a gentleman and refused to ruin her? You are asking me to relinquish my virtue, self-respect, or to be reduced to a glorified courtesan who will never be able to marry. I refuse to be that low. As a maid, I am necessary, and now here you stand attempting to rob me of that too, and for what?
Forgive me, I will go.
But it's not gonna solve it. But then again, you gotta figure out, is there a way to solve it?
Sophie Beck. I knew a Mrs. Brock once. Thought it might come across you lots.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
You must feel like you're on holiday with your new employer, compared to Lady Featherington.
I doubt that.
She may not have been perfect. Neither is Lady Penwood.
Penwood? I heard she runs through staff faster than tea leaves.
There's more servants over the last few months than I have had in the rest of my career.
Sophie Peck? Have you heard anything about her?
Has there been some trouble with her?
Heavens no, she is one of the finest maids I've ever hired.
I'm afraid I cannot tell you anything.
Please don't go back to Lady Penwood about it.
But I did used to work with another Miss Beck many years ago.
Word's getting around. Might get more information, but it could be devastating to Sophie.
We're just partaking in our monthly dining club when Gregory happened to stop by.
That we might enjoy our imported cheese.
Would you like a slice of taleggio?
I have no idea what that is.
I do not wish to interrupt.
Oh, stay. We can have Barnes bring you a brandy if you wish.
He's like, I need a private ear.
We were just giving Gregory some advice on the matters of the heart.
Why have you not asked me? Clearly I am the more seasoned brother.
But you're not married, so you clearly have not been the most successful.
You tell her your own feelings. I know there's nothing more terrifying, but you cannot let any amount of fear stop you from letting your heart speak.
But it still doesn't solve the problem that Benedict has and Sophie has. And I keep saying that she's supposed to be a lady, but technically being that she was considered a bastard child and as far as I know was never legitimized, I don't think that that is true. And even if it was, you'd have to find a way to prove it. And that don't look like it's gonna happen.
She is quite a woman of passion.
Do you want to go in? Daphne told me, if a man takes a fancy to you, he will offer to obtain a lemonade for you. We must make sure to have enough.
No one told me about lemonade.
Well, there will be plenty, I assure you.
I have a friend, Lord Anderson. He is my friend.
My friend.
I must ensure the footman will come by with lemonade regularly.
What is this about lemonade?
It's just like trying to give her something to show that you're interested and to kind of tend to her.
You do love feathers.
Thank you. I do not wish to look like the silly girl you think I am.
It isn't about you being a silly girl. It's about her not liking all the fanfare with all of this.
Once worked with another Miss Beck. Sophie's mother, surely.
Sophie has her mother's name.
She is illegitimate, I would imagine.
I had hoped perhaps she was of legitimate nobility so that she may be suitable.
Suitable? For what?
Yeah, you don't want to go and open your mouth about that yet. And I won't say what happens in the book because it's way too spoilery. Way too big a spoiler.
It is tea time.
Here is the tea.
We have been waiting in there nearly an hour.
My apologies. Under my last ladyship.
Mrs. Varley, I am not Lady Featherington. Perhaps this arrangement has run its course.
Perhaps.
So if you could just give me another chance.
To do what? Without help while you spend nearly an hour at the market.
Trying to gather information on the maid who wronged you this morning.
And?
Don't tell her. Don't.
I believe she's working at Bridgerton House.
All right, I was gonna suggest that she could try to go back to Mrs. Featherington, but I know they require letters of recommendation. Lady Penwood is not likely to give her a letter of recommendation.
She is divine.
We will begin with the long ways.
Oh, and in the books, I found his book the hardest. There's so many things. It made me feel so horrible for him. So many things happen. But that is all I'm going to say about that. It just made me very sad. I remember they used to teach this stuff in gym class. And it seems so silly and dumb, but I mean, I guess our country got a lot of its origins from this kind of thing. So they were just maintaining a lot of the things that they knew. He is very tall.
Good evening, Miss Hyacinth.
Good evening.
Miss Rochelle, is it? May I inquire about your interests?
Well, and now we bow and curtsy. Break for refreshments.
The lemonade.
How did it go? Did you have a good conversation? I think I may be in love.
I enjoyed our dance very much, though I must say I'm rather thirsty after such activity.
As am I. I shall fetch some lemonade.
He did not pass.
Sister, your footwork for the long waist was impeccable, of course.
I've not seen you in society for some time. Are you making a return?
Oh God, now there's 3 of them. Oh my God. Let's just keep it to 1, not now 4. Oh my gosh.
You are here with my family and, well, it has not fallen apart. Sadly, she is not Benedict's young lady. I do not think he is even looking anymore.
Is that because there is someone else?
No.
No. Can't let that gossip get out. It would be devastating.
Sophie.
Do you need something?
No,
Just you.
I found it.
Our girls will dance with their chaperones.
Are you ready for our dance?
Mrs. Bridgerton. I called you here because I did not like your column this week. How are we to settle our bet if you do not write of him? You may answer.
The power I hold over the ton, it is too great. Impossible to deliver good, true, fair gossip. Consider letting me rest my column and pursue other writing.
No. No, no, no.
She could come up with like a scholarship to teach other young ladies to walk in Lady Whistledown's shoes or footsteps or something like that, to kind of go in the same path and then get other people in that line of work so she can let off of Penelope a little bit.
Not have much of a chance to speak to Lord Taylor.
Miss Sterling,
I believe we spoke.
Lady Gilmartin talked a good deal about how much of a family woman you are. I am a family man myself. We have much in common.
Could use a moment to freshen up.
Not to force suitors onto Michaela.
Perhaps she might be flattered.
That is not the point.
I will find her. You are upset with me.
I was simply trying to help you find a companion.
Francesca, you do not know me.
How am I meant to know someone who's determined to be unknowable? The entire time we were in Scotland, you could hardly contain your chaos.
John does not feel disrespected. He appreciates my chaos. You could do with some yourself.
Then why has he been unwell since your return?
You are causing him distress.
No, I am causing you distress.
Of course you are. You cannot understand what it is like. Feeling constantly inadequate. Must you add to that?
You have had your housekeeper organise your jigsaw collection numerically. What could possibly be wrong with you?
The grass is always greener on the other side.
You need never worry about being inadequate. They cannot be more secure. It is only... There are very few people I feel secure with, and John is one of them.
I'm a little envious of your chaos. Perhaps I can be open to it. As long as you do not expect me to stay up past 10 o'clock.
I'm not struck with madness. Are you a little drunk? I knew you were more forthcoming than usual. Well, I could use more spirited friends.
Friends, then?
Yep, this definitely was a talk that they needed to have. I'm so glad.
Wonders if perhaps the desire is not the problem, but the world itself.
Ding, ding, ding. Right there. You make a world where two people that seriously love each other are not in a very bad position. I don't care what class you're in. Like, this shouldn't be outlawed. It shouldn't be so freaking frowned upon. And make it so that they feel like they cannot be together unless it's as mistress, and that's not freaking accepted either. Like, you give them no alternative. None.
Where has Nikki gone?
Run off with Gregory, surely. I'll try to find him.
You as in the society.
I'm sorry I'm not an Eton boy.
Turns out Eton boys are not all that astonishing.
And let us make it a decent moment.
Finally know who the new neighbour is. Araminta Gunn, the Dowager Lady Penwood.
Now she knows.
I'm suddenly feeling poorly. Will you tell Mrs. Wilson I'm going to lie down for a little while?
Go on, Benedict.
Benedict, leave her be. It is not appropriate.
Mother, before you chastise me, might I inquire what you are doing with Lord Anderson? You are bedding a man who is not your husband. That's none of my business, but nor is mine yours.
Benedict, you're very loud.
Sophie, tell me what is wrong.
Please leave me alone.
No, I'm here for you.
But I cannot.
Yeah, you are definitely not supposed to go in a girl's room. Close the door behind you without her consent.
I did not ask you to show me a world that could never be mine. Each time you show me, it hurts me. You hurt me.
The thought of spending a single day without you torments my soul. I love you, Sophie.
You cannot.
Except he does.
No, I cannot. You have taken possession of me. I would not marry. I could not look twice at anyone else.
Your attention will be drawn elsewhere.
You are not that kite in my study. You're the person I've been searching for all my life. I love you.
I love you.
And the Queen's lady's maid is on the other side of the door, most likely hearing all of this.
I wanted you for so long.
Okay. There's a bed right there, but sure.
Slow at first, please. I've heard it can hurt.
That's, I can't imagine this is going to be good. Queen may find out, Araminta may find out, and while what Benedict said to his mother was true, it was very, very loud and very, very mean. And I know, they're not supposed to be having sex outside of marriage and everything, but he doesn't have a problem having sex outside of marriage. Oh yeah, because she's a female, it's a problem? Because she's a lady? She was already married, her husband died, he died a long time ago, the time of grief. I can't say it's over, but it is past time for her to be able to move on. And she's not going to want to just get married to the first guy that she's attracted to or anything like that. She's going to want to take her time. She's going to want to figure out whether she's okay with this, whether it's going to be okay for her life. She's not going to just be like, okay, I want to have sex with you, so let's get married first. Ugh, anyway. I know, it's a different time, different way of doing things. That still doesn't make it fucking right. And the whole thing with society not really giving these ladies that are at a different class some sort of fucking alternative that is actually accepted, that's bullshit too. Because we all know many of those men had interest in any variety of classes and would have sex with them, which, yes, means they are spoiled. They are considered trash, yet the guys can just go on about their business like everything is fucking hunky-dory. Anyway, I should really stop. So, that is all I have for you today. I will see you next week. Bye.
Is there more?
We'll just have to tune in next week to find out, won't we?
And remember, if you like this content, please click the thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, click subscribe. Ring that little bell and click all, and you'll get more notifications anytime new content comes out.